Welcome back, Overwatch fans, to another amazing night.
We have a fantastic match tonight, no question about it.
Oh my god, yes!
Put them a run! Make sure they can't even follow up afterwards.
And Watch has found 2 in this fight thus far. Make that 3, make that 4 right now here. Dynamic team gets a 4-man tire!
Those who find the picks will save the fights, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
Andre gets 3 with the primal rage!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening and welcome to this here Tranquility Discord EU lower bracket finals. I will be your analyst for us here. I'm joined over here by Dexatron. Let's tell us what do we think? What are we looking forward to tonight, Dex?
I mean, we're looking at a great matchup right here. Based off what we saw in the little loading screen before this, we know, I believe it was C.A.M's coming in here as the number 1 overall seed in the lower bracket, and Deathwatch is coming in as the number 6. I could be wrong, could have that backwards. I have it backwards.
You do have that backwards?
Yeah,
so it's okay.
So Deathwatch is coming in as number 1, and C.A.M's coming in as number 6. So Deathwatch, number 1 in the lower bracket, it means they're kind of expected to be here. C.A.M, on the other hand, number 6. You know, this is probably a shock that they made it this far.
Yeah, you'd say so. Deathwatch, from the only match that they've lost this entire season was in the first round of playoffs. So, you know, probably one of the worst times to lose your first match, but they won everything before that, and they've won everything after that, as obviously that's why they're here. The previous meeting between these two teams was a pretty resounding 4-0 victory for Deathwatch. So, if that is to be, if we're going to base things tonight on that, you know, we're obviously expecting Deathwatch to go through this, you know, not easily by anything, but like there's been a lot of time between then and now, and as you said, C.A.M, a bit of a surprise to be it, quite, because they've had a lot of time to build themselves up. They had a lot of time to get coaching, to like bring their players in, and maybe they're like not a different players, but a completely different team now, and maybe they'll give Deathwatch a lot of a bit better run for their money.
Yeah, and you talked about this matchup. The last time these two teams played each other was Week 3. There's been a lot of time since then. In Week 3, we were still in Overwatch 1 at the time. Am I right, or was this after Overwatch 2 came out?
I think that was Overwatch 1. You're actually 100% correct.
Yeah,
it was Week 3.
So it's a completely new game and new kind of play style that they're going to be coming out with here. So maybe C.A.M had struggled a little bit there in that first, while Overwatch 1 was still going on, and in Overwatch 2 they kind of picked it up. Deathwatch, you know, you said them losing in the first round of the playoffs, not necessarily the best time to lose. However, that might have been a good thing for them. If they have always been winning throughout the entire season, one loss just to knock them down into this lower bracket might have been all they need just to fuel them all the way to the grand finals, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a, ego reality check, just to bring them down to earth. Say, okay, guys, look, we're not invincible. We can lose. We need to put like our full effort into every match that goes on here. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that was exactly what they needed to get them through here. We'll obviously have to see that as we get through the match here. But just a quick plug from for the stream here. Just remember everyone to check out Tranquility GG to see tranquility.gg, excuse me, to see any and all upcoming broadcasts, rosters, social stores, and everything. Everything is broadcasts and things are to your local time, so that won't be confusing because time zones are a fun thing.
They are,
but
they are certainly a fun thing. You said good evening. Where I'm casting from right now, it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is a really fun thing with time zones.
It is. So because I'm on the EU time zone, I am correct this time. This time. If I were casting the NA feature later today, it would be morning for me. It would be about 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I'm not staying awake for that one.
Hey, always, good stuff happens after 3 a.m. sometimes.
Of course,
There is a
of course.
game tonight if anyone's gonna still be awake, which I don't expect them to be. However, let's get back focused on this game. Do you think
Yes.
that Deathwatch is gonna have the same result as they had against C.A.M. the first time with a straight sweep, or do you think C.A.M., a new and improved, probably a little bit better C.A.M. than what Deathwatch saw them in the regular season go up against? Are they gonna try to flip the script on them here?
I think they would. As you can see, so our first map being Nepal. Having watched Deathwatch a bit through the season, they are a big fan of Nepal. Funnily enough, probably why they picked it, being the highest seed into this. But yeah, as you said, maybe with this new and improved Overwatch 2 cam, they can come through here and maybe they can get the win. I'm not gonna say make it a challenge for Deathwatch. That's already me resigning them to lose, and that's not what I want. I think that there's a realistic chance here that C.A.M. Can take this. If they're gonna be playing this comp that they're showing us, I want them to take this.
I mean, they're certainly teasing us with something incredibly interesting right now, but looks like they're kind of swapping off that now and going to something much more traditional.
Yeah, much more traditional. This is the current Overwatch League meta comp. Obviously a little bit interesting considering that the patch hasn't come through that makes this a strong comp. And we will see here Ben's taking care of Ronan before I even finish my second.
Yeah, C.A.M.'s getting a great start here. 3 kills all off the gun there of Ben G, and this should be first point going over to them. Most of their teams still hang around that high ground just to make sure no one else comes back through, but as the point opens, C.A.M. should be the first team here to cap it.
Yeah, C.A.M. should be the first team to cap it. It looks like Meowth is going to challenge this just for a split second there. I mean, what's the real punish there? They found him in the backline here. Meowth is in a spot of bother. Yeah, they're just going to keep chasing him around here. Though I think that was a bit of a misplay there for Meowth, meaning that their team will now have to take the fight 4v5 as they are. We'll see Ronan walking in and taking care of that dangerous Benji.
Yeah, but already, even with that little bit of a distraction there by Meowth, they are able to find Ben G out. And look at this, Deathwatch already starting to retake that point right now. And C.A.M. does let them retake it, actually, away from them. The team fight's still going on at this point. Only one member down for each side, but they have both respond. And Jizzy soon getting back into this fight. Loki trying to come in and try to do anything there, but has to jump back up to keep themselves alive. However, actually, they go straight up in the air. And they're going to get harassed here by Overmars and Ronan. They end up falling right there as well. Now some other members of C.A.M. just trying to rush in as we see Ben B come in, but they also just run right back out the regroup of the team. However, Deathwatch wants to bring this fight to them as C.A.M. proceeds just to fall back.
C.A.M. pulling out there, maybe taking a little bit too long to kill me out there and allowing Deathwatch to come in. I'm still surprised the Deathwatch won that, being a player down, but I think they just didn't, the comp of C.A.M. very much relies on the team to be grouped up, and if you split your team in this comp, it's just not really going to be good. We'll see Karisu hacked up his backline there, and they come in key, but Flow failed it.
Yeah, look at this, C.A.M. already back. 3 kills going away. Make that 4 as Benji finds Ronan again. And again, another quick point swap coming out here from C.A.M. after the one team fight loss. However, Deathwatch did get 55% during their time holding the point.
Yeah, Deathwatch claiming a lot more progress there off their fight win than C.A.M. did. And we'll see a bit of a different rotation coming through here, looking like they're just going to run around straight to point here. Ronan probably going to look for the shadow coming through here. Hopefully Woki can juggle him out or just pressure. You see them there, the point, and Meowth take care of Benji.
The beat comes out from live. Shatter comes out from Ronan. Doesn't find anyone though. Overmars is sitting on that Death Blossom right now as I believe Loki popped their Primal Rage. Meowth finds Karisu in the background as we start to see here Overmars try to harass Zorn in the background, but we see Iceberg fall to Loki. Loki eventually does fall to Overmars. However, the point has flopped back over into Deathwatch's control, and Overmars going in finds one support for C.A.M. while the other one and one member of their team decides to fall back to their spawn. However, Deathwatch is now close to, or nearing 75% on that point.
Yeah, Deathwatch is sitting on a high percentage there because C.A.M. keeps giving over this point far too easily. Like, they're in the middle of the fight, they've still got 3-4 members alive, and the point is already flipped in Deathwatch's favor. And yeah, if you're not going to play the objective, I mean, that's fair enough, then you've got to win the fight really quickly. And if you're going to lose the fight, lose it quickly as well. So you can regroup here. Deathwatch in a very strong position now with 3 ults to the name. Got that EMP Blossom, which should be an instant fight win for them. And what looks like they wouldn't even need it if Suga's down already.
And the Blossom comes out there, holding onto it. They pop the EMP. It finds bolts of DPS for C.A.M. Karisu falls. The overtime is ticking down. Almost ends there. However, we do see Woki come in, try to contest that point. They do only for a mere second, though. Now it's up to Zorn over here. But they eventually fall to the shotguns of Overmars there. And same could be said for Suga as well. And Deathwatch will take the first point here on Nepal.
Deathwatch taking the first point there. Not as not as dominant as it would seem from that scoreline there. C.A.M really did take Deathwatch to task there, just unfortunately, as I said earlier, just not really maintaining their control of the point, maybe being a little bit too scared of what Overmars can do on this Reaper. We've seen both Reapers so far being incredibly aggressive and getting insane amounts of value. Benji getting 4 kills in that first fight last round, quickly responded there by Deathwatch as they chased out Meowth. But I really don't. I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to get hopeful about C.A.M's spawn picks, considering they're all going to switch in about half a second, I assume.
What about Deathwatch's spawn picks right now? Overmars coming out on the Bastion to start off here, and same. Let's look at C.A.M again. Woki coming out on the ball to start off.
Yeah, I was looking at the ball and I was feeling happy, and I was like, no, they baited me last time, they're gonna do it again. A very bold choice into a Sombra that was running last game. There he is going in for that slam, and getting a lot of damage there, and not getting hacked up. So insane value there for the ball so far, forcing out that Suzu, and there comes Benji.
Yeah, again, look, just the collapse from C.A.M here on to Deathwatch. It's a lot like the last point, where we saw them exactly do the same thing. Win an early team fight, cap the point first. Now it's going to be up to Deathwatch to try to respond like they did on that first point as well.
Yeah, we'll see Suga on point cap duty here. And Afara Mercy Genji that's a comp. That's not a comp that I've seen before, but it's definitely a comp here. I'm going to question though this break pick from Deathwatch so far. I mean, maybe I'll come around to it. But as we see Woki in the backline here getting hacked up and almost gets the punish there. Does get the punish there. So maybe a bit of an overstep there for Woki. All going to be on Benji now with this very early barrage trying to get the kill.
And here comes it, finds one. It's looking for another. Getting pestered here by Overmars. Overmars will eventually take them out. However, Karisu comes out and takes out Overmars just after that. Now they're going after the Orisa of Ronin. Deathwatch, though, is retaking this point at the moment. However, more of the C.A.M squad is back on that point to contest it. Suga is able to res Benji here, and we see here Woki trying to go after UBL in that backline. That brig, like you said, I still don't necessarily know if this is the right pick. Ronin, though, able to take care of Benji with the Javelin there. However, C.A.M still at this point at the moment.
You can run, you can hide, but the Javelin will fight you all the same. There's an EMP from Meowth to start this off. They're trying to go for that Mercy, but didn't actually get hacked up, did Tsuga. And it looks like they're just going to be able to walk out scot-free there. Meowth just pestering the support from the backside, forcing out that delay. And Karisu not getting the value that they wanted from this play.
Minefield coming down on point right now as UBL takes care of Woki. The Woki Mind able to take care of Ronin. Benji comes right back to find Iceberg. Trades going back and forth here. Woki gets res here by Suga. Here comes a high noon from Overmars, but they will not be able to use it as Woki is able just to gun them down before they even pop off one shot. 81% now for C.A.M. Meowth on point, trying to do whatever they can. However, one Sombra versus the entirety of C.A.M is not a good fight.
Not a good fight indeed there. Yeah, unfortunately Karisu didn't get the value they wanted from that play, but maybe it turns out it was just a distraction. As we'll see, Ronin heading onto point here, probably going to pop that new Orisa full minute as Overmars once again hitting Karisu with that intercontinental ballistic missile there.
But look, as we saw the barrage come out from Benji, doesn't find anything. We're down. Deathwatch actually having some footing happen right now. They're able to retake the point just as C.A.M had it at 99%. They continue to find kills. Meowth finds Zorn. Overmars desperately trying to get Woki there, but Woki able to escape with their lives here for the moment. Ronin had to go into gold mode here just to keep themselves alive as they now back up a little bit to regroup with their team as C.A.M is going to come back in here into this team fight.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe a little bit early on the barrage there from Benji. Was about 60 miles from everyone, unfortunately. And you know what, I take it back. UBL has done pretty good work on this break here as Overmars will once again take care of Benji with that bomb there. Raised up immediately by Tsuga, but Woki is now in danger, and there comes that.
Yeah, they find one with the Terror Surge, able to actually Javelin Benji there. Meowth takes care of them. A nice team fight won here by Deathwatch, and by the time C.A.M gets back into this one for another fight, Deathwatch will already be over 50% on that point.
Yeah, Deathwatch will be over 50% and will have both DPS ults once again. I'm looking for Overmars to come up huge here, as I'm not really sure what else they're going to be able to do aside from collapsing on that EMP, of course. We'll see Woki is going through here, getting hacked up and antied and stunned and good main tank experience.
They did pop their minefield, though. That's a huge play there coming out from Deathwatch. They do not have that. Overmars High Noon is huge. It finds 3 members of C.A.M there, and they're close here to almost being final team fight right now. Meowth still holding on to that EMP. That's going to be their ultimate here for these next couple last engagements. However, C.A.M is going to come back in with a barrage of ultimates themselves.
Yeah, barrage, no pun intended there. Speaking of ultimates, here comes the EMP from Meowth straight into the face. They're taking out the Pharah Mercy. That's a great fight win there for them.
Yeah, it hits 4 with that EMP. Already 3 down from it. Overmars trying to take care of Karisu here. They're running for their life, able to escape. However, no one from their team will be able to get back to this point in time. And Deathwatch, actually no, Loki able to get back and touch the point here. Now they're doing their hardest just to try to get them off it. Suga here pops the Valkyrie, trying to keep them alive. UBL somehow kills themselves by falling off the map. Meowth finds Benji. C.A.M is trying to do the best here to keep this fight alive. Christian pops the blade, finds one, but takes a javelin to the face to end their own. Meowth finds Suga right now. All they have to do is get rid of Zorn, and that should do it. Deathwatch comes back from 99 to 0 on the second point to win the first map.
That was definitely a battle there, an uphill battle from Deathwatch that they managed to clutch through there. Just the DPS, they're just putting in so much work, and not to take anything away from the rest of the team there. I think in that final fight there, UBL tried to. So we'll just see Benji here putting in the work that they did on that first fight there, and yeah, what was I saying there? A lot of work being put in there by that Brig, actually bashing themselves off the match there, I think, to as Woki jumped up in that slam animation. So a little bit unfortunate there, but fortunately the rest of the team was there to keep the fight going, keep everything alive. And yeah, Deathwatch take our first map in emphatic style, and that really is the tale so far. You know, Deathwatch losing the first fight, pretty quickly. And then going, okay, cool, what can we do about this? Okay, we change this and this is, okay, cool, we're locked in.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give C.A.M a lot of credit, though. They seem to be a completely different team that kind of caught Deathwatch a little bit off guard there. They both won early team fights before the point opened, were able to cap point first on each map. On the second point, they actually held it all the way at 99%. Then Deathwatch was just able to kind of sneak their way by. One kind of unfortunate barrage coming out from C.A.M and a couple early kills from them led to them retaking the point. And then after that, it basically just seemed like Deathwatch was not going to allow them to enter back into the area around the point up until that last little team fight there.
Yeah, and I think, that was just really well played there by Deathwatch. Meowth constantly in the backline, constantly harassing those supports, especially the Mercy there, which meant that Benji was constantly fighting against a Cassidy, who can aim, by the way. Without their Mercy, or with their Mercy pressured out by that Sombra. So I think so far really good work by Meowth from Deathwatch, but not to take anything away from C.A.M, as you said there. Really good work there, and just unfortunately got not unfortunately, let's say, did we say they were outgunned? No, they weren't outgunned. It was the first map, and they're getting through the warm-ups. The rest of the series, if this is what it's to go on, I'm looking forward to the rest of the series, Dex.
Yeah, and honestly, like you talked about Meowth's EMPs there, and honestly, if they had lost that map there, if they would have lost that point, I would have been talking about in between the second and third point that Meowth's EMPs had not necessarily been huge that entire round.
Oh.
I believe we saw a 1-man, a 2-man, and then another 1-man up until that final EMP where we saw them hit 4 people, and that essentially won them a team fight. Woki was the only one that did not get hit with that EMP, which was the only reason they were able to get back to that point and contest it there at the end, and they did get some kills. We saw Karisu come out there with a blade before taking a javelin to the face, and a lot of help from the rest of Deathwatch there, but they almost were able to retake that point away from Deathwatch there at the end. Woki, the only one being able to stay alive from that EMP, was huge, but that last EMP coming out from Deathwatch was such a fight turn, and it was essentially the map winner for them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wasn't necessarily talking about the EMPs. I was just talking about actually the general Sombra play. I think the target selection there. If you remember me commenting on that EMP that happened kind of between two fights in that we had Mega Room above point, which I thought was a little bit of a misplay, but it's okay. It ended up with them winning, so it's fine. Also to note there, I saw who was it, Meowth? Yes, walking straight into a minefield with Sombra's hack animation up, hitting two mines and surviving with I think 1 HP. So that was a good time to watch. I'm really glad our prod caught that there. But yeah, let's get back to this. We're gonna see Midtown next. I think that the comp that C.A.M is running is probably favored on this map. The comp that C.A.M is running, the comp that C.A.M ran on the first map, the current Overwatch League meta comp, is probably favored on this map. But we've obviously only seen the teams run, their initial comps, two very different comps from both sides, so 4 unique comps, and a new tank in for Deathwatch. Tomi replacing Ronan here, and if they're going to be playing the Orisa, then much of the same. But yeah, we'll see. I think that meta comp, I can't remember if there's a name for it. Do you know?
You're asking the wrong person. I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry. But
Sorry,
I mean,
put you on the spot there.
We're seeing Overmars come out with the Bastion, or at least teasing us with the Bastion right now. C.A.M, on the other hand, like you said, that's pretty much a meta comp we're seeing from them. Term actually going over to, or Term going to a Zarya now instead. So I actually think that kind of plays in a little bit better to what they're trying to do here, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's the goal that they're going for here. Maybe it's just bubble the Bastion and we get a stick there, so I'll charge my why don't you? Yeah, very early engagement though from Woki. And we'll see here that the teams are fighting themselves around here. Overmars is pumping in the damage, but C.A.M hiding it out quite nicely.
Yeah, Zorn able to find me out there. Termi does find Tugas out before everything there. Almost taking a tick there was Meowth. However, the kills continue to go the way of C.A.M here at the moment. Karisa, though, really low on health. Able to still pester in some damage there onto that Zarya as Iceberg, and now Termi finally falls there on the point. Lucio of UBL is trying to run away with their life, doing a good job of it right now, and will be able to regroup back up with the team.
UBL getting out there is absolutely huge for them. It's a lot of ult charge and a lot of time bought there for Deathwatch. I think Woki might have forgotten they had that Winston Sniper Monkey ability. As we will see a very quick engagement again from Termi. Benji in the backline here though. I don't know what the goal is. Straight for that. Oh no, that's what the goal is.
They're able to do something. I think they did force out the sleep start there. Trying to TP away, though, a little bit too slow there. It's Overmars' grenade, able to take care of them. And Overmars not even going into tank mode, able to take care of Loki. Russo does find UBL, however, Overmars continues just to show why Bastion is such a good character right now. Going into that tank mode now is very scary. However, it doesn't seem like any of the other members of C.A.M are going to come back and contest this point.
Yeah, a bit of a split engagement there from C.A.M, not really working in their favor. Benji went into the backline and didn't realize that there were 6 players there from Deathwatch out of 5, by the way. I can count. We'll see the team coming through here. Chubby getting pressured here, and I think Bubble has come back. And Zorning, though, taking out UBL finally. Lucio's traded.
Lucio's down right now. We're trying to see the Zarya or Termi here just do whatever they can. They are sitting on a grab. Meowth is close to an EMP, so I wonder if they're going to try to combine these, maybe even go with the combination of the grab and the mortar from Overmars here. But Loki does find 1. Bing finds 2 with their death loss, and now they're going after Overmars. UBL, and they find Overmars there, and they find Termi. I believe that was 4 of the 5 members of Deathwatch there falling by those Hellfire shotguns from Benji.
Yeah, Benji going absolutely massive that fight. I think the first one was the Kariko headshot there from Zornig just to start the fight off, and thereafter Benji just cleaning house. We will see a plethora of ultimates from both teams here. Pretty much all the ultimates on board except for Benji's Death Blossom that was used the last fight there. So it's going to be which team presses Q first here, and there's that first one, the Nano onto the Zarya. Terrible.
EMP comes out as well. It only hits 2 members though. Loki gets knocked down from it. Tuga still actively in that EMP effect right now, but they can still kill oh wow. TP coming out there from Benji. Zorn does find UBL, but Deathwatch continues to push this point right now. Termi's still holding on to that grab. Omar still holding on to their ultimate as well, but C.A.M, on the other hand, just holding on to 4 or 5 of their ultimates right now. Benji in the back line, trying to do whatever they can, knows there's no one there, and decides just to shadow step away.
Yeah, Benji taking the fight there with Overmars and actually winning it there. Kitsune Rush coming through here from Deathwatch, so all that damage is coming out so fast. And these fights are just bleeding into each other right now, as we will see both teams kind of backing it up away from each other, just regrouping, and a very aggressive position taking it for free. So I'm very interested to see what Overmars does with this Bastion ultimate, considering it's really not that strong of an ultimate in terms of like the pace of the game. Maybe just to force some positioning, maybe? Yeah, we'll see what they do with it. There it comes, so let's see what they do with it.
Well, there's Termy's still holding on to this grab right now. I wonder if they're trying to set something up here, but looks like they want to force C.A.M off the high ground right there, but they do a really bad job of it, as most of the members of C.A.M are still sitting there. However, we are seeing Deathwatch try to just C9 this right now. Meowth in the backline on that Sombra, actually able to hold off the Lucio for a moment here. Carissa, though, does take care of Termy and Iceberg right now for Deathwatch. And Woki falls, or Loki able to find Overmars, and Benji finds UBL right there. Only Meowth still left alive, and Suga back there on the card, making sure that he not gets back capped.
Yeah, Karisu also doing some scouting only around the cart, funnily enough. And I'd actually love to know where Meowth is. Are they just back with the rest of their team, or are they're still behind there? They're looking at that cart. They're thinking about it. They're back on it. But yeah, Benji is also on the prowl and killing 3 members there.
Make it 4. Now all they have to do is take care of Meowth here. However, Meowth probably invisible and teleported away from the cart at the moment. And you know, I'm just looking at Deathwatch right now. Termy has been holding on to this grab now for at least 3-4 minutes. I thought maybe they were going to try to pair it up with Overmars' ultimate. They just didn't do it. Maybe they're waiting for Meowth to get their EMP back or something, but I'm starting to wonder why they're holding on to it this long.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tsuga is in a very dangerous position here, packed against it. There comes that grab onto 2 members.
They don't find anyone from it right there. Overmars trying to do their best, laying down a whole bunch of bullets there. Benji tries to run away. The Kitsune Rush comes out from Zorn up there, not able to help Benji get out. Overmars does take care of them right now. This is Deathwatch's best opportunity. But now here comes the overclock from Karisu, just trying to find one head, trying to do anything right now to take care of them. But the EMP comes out from Meowth there, only finds Karisu and Zorning there. But Zorn falls, Karisu falls, Benji now falls. This is great for Deathwatch. 3 straight kills, make it 4. All they have to do is get rid of his pesty Lucio, and they're finally able to.
I like that you use Pesty there for the Lucio when we've seen what Meowth's been doing this entire round so far. Excuse me. A great EMP there. Both targets that you mentioned that got EMP'd were killed pretty quickly after that. And yeah, that the Sombra press Q to win button did end up working that time. We will see C.A.M came back here with almost a primal rage, so a lot of space making potential here for Woki, and only really the beat to respond to it. As I said earlier, that Bastion ultimate doesn't really do too much in the pace of this game right now. But yeah, good maybe to force position, good to try things. We will see Woki just trying to build up that ultimate, and yeah, I don't know, let's see what's here. Okay, the carpet bomb is tempting.
Yeah, like you said, honestly, they're probably using this right now to create some space, force up some members from the game. The rest of the team can't see him. Primal Rage now being popped by Loki just to get them away from the fight. Overmars does find Tsuga out, and now Loki is purple. They cannot be healed. They're almost down. Karisu does find Meowth, though, so fight is pretty much even at the moment. Termy trying to just rain at whatever damage they possibly can into the C.A.M's defensive line right now. However, Deathwatch is doing a good job just pushing his cart. Karisu tries for a headshot there, does hit UBL, but does not kill them.
Benji up here just trying to build into that Blossom. I think we'll probably unleash it right as they get the Zarya down. There you go. Taking care of the backline there, as we will see C.A.M coming through just to finish out this fight. Overmars taking out Woki. Yeah, not ideal, but I think the fight has already been won. Benji just needs to return to the rest of the team here. And I suppose what it does do, that kill though, does deny positioning for C.A.M. It means that they can't hold as aggressive up in this choke as they have been. And it means that Deathwatch now have a bit of an entrance. Another grab online for Termy. Hopefully they use it a bit quicker than last time. And this EMP coming in here. There is a lot of ultimates here, as we will see the overclock punch.
Here comes the grab and the EMP. It hits 4 members, 3 already gone for C.A.M. This is what Deathwatch need here, as we have finally just ticked into overtime right now. Suga is up right now. They did pop the beat to keep themselves alive. Karisu falls. It's only Suga at the moment. They finally fall. Deathwatch can now push this cart, but C.A.M should be able to come back out. We do see Woki there. They're gonna probably dive onto this cart. Benji is actually in a fight with someone right now, but Deathwatch completely forgot about the cart there for a moment. Luckily for them, Termi is right there. Actually, they keep on also forgetting about it. The barrage or the mortars come in from Overmars now. Deathwatch has to stay on this cart for as long as they can. Termi trying to do their best. UBL coming in to support them at the moment, but it's 4v1 on that cart. But Meowth and Termi each find one. Creature does find Iceberg, but Overmars from somewhere able to do it. And
They capped?
Deathwatch, yeah, Deathwatch capped it.
Deathwatch capped? What?
Did they?
They did. It says 3. They capped 3. I don't know when or how that happened because in my mind they'd C9'd it, right? They just left the cart going as they almost did twice there, my poor little heart. I think myself, you and myself and probably the rest of you watching the stream were looking at that thing, like, please don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And they kept touching it, you know, all part of the plan. Just getting C.A.M's hopes up here. Yeah, those 2 support ultimates there towards the end of the round, they're coming out just a little too late to save their teammates there in that EMP grab, and you know, unfortunately that was the fight winner. And being down those 2 support ultimates meant they didn't really have an entrance for the next fight. But I will say they're a fantastic second and third point defense from C.A.M. Deathwatch just winning the fights that counted there towards the ends of those 2 points to cap them. But 0 time in the bank means that if C.A.M cap with a minute, they have a guaranteed minimum of a map draw, right? So obviously they still need to get to that point. But if I was C.A.M, I'm going into this round really confident.
Yeah, I mean, C.A.M, they have to be so improved since the last time Deathwatch played them right now. And they've looked like a team that at times could easily beat Deathwatch. Hell, they, like you said, they held them there on that second point for a really long time. They almost held them on the third point as Overmars already takes care of Karisu here early. We did see Meowth there in the backline. They do find the hack there onto Zorn, but Zorn able to stay alive and Truga able to res Karisu here.
Yeah, this is remnants of an Overwatch 1 ball comp. They've got the Tracer, Pharah, Mercy. All they need is the Ana really to do that. They take off Meowth's Translocator, but Meowth does take out Benji in the process. There's that Translocator being down, taking effect. Meowth taken out. There's such a thorn in the side of C.A.M gone now. We will see Woki getting healing from Zorik here. And this Pharah just needs to get a little bit of pressure as Overmars once again takes off Karisu's hit.
Yeah, Karisu's not really been able to play the game that much this round as Overmars absolute deadeye so far. Trying to take care of Benji right there, but Termi able to do that for them. And they wake the sleeping Woki there, but Woki not able to escape there because Termi's able to fly down and get them in time. Now that was a really prolonged team fight there by both sides. C.A.M did a good job trying to do basically anything there. Deathwatch though was just able to combat them every turn.
Yeah, I think the positioning of the Ashe here is just making it really difficult for Benji. We will see a switch over to the Genji now from Karisu. Genji obviously still extremely strong on this patch in particular. And we will see Meowth being taken out by Woki, who's probably camping the Translocator. A very smart play there from the Wrecking Ball. And looking to get the Mercy, and does manage to get them with that swing.
Yeah, but Bob comes out here from Overmars, and actually Bob's not on point at the moment, and they're going after the Termi here on this D.Va. Only the last member of Deathwatch around the point right now, but it's only Karisu and the ball here, but we do see Meowth come back. They are sitting very close to an EMP, so that would probably be used here. Actually, here comes the bomb from Termi, and it does find Karisu there as they try to basically hide behind a paper-thin little outcropping there. Benji pops their barrage, doesn't find anything. Actually, they get EMP'd out of it there. Woki gets EMP'd as well. Sugar gets hacked after it, and look at this Deathwatch just coming back into this fight, able to take care of everyone on C.A.M. Woki falls, Zorn about to fall, and that's a nice kind of stabilization there from Deathwatch.
Nice stabilization, and once again, as you pointed out in the first fight, a very long and drawn-out fight, which is the style of Overwatch that C.A.M is currently playing here. We will see 4 ultimates online for them, almost, and only the Valkyrie and Nano from Deathwatch in response. So I'm not sure who's going to get nanoed here. Maybe Termi, just to put a lot of pressure on there. But this should be a one fight for C.A.M if they play their cards right.
Feel better?
Yeah, Cam wants to go through the subway trainer. Now here comes the minefield and the blade. 2 members of Deathwatch already gone. Make it 3 as Creature finds another one with their blade, trying to find anyone else. But Iceberg being Valve here keeps them alive at the moment. They're looking to try to res, I believe that was Wokey there, but they're just not able to because the minefields literally bopped them out of the way. And now Cam should be able to completely cap this point right now unless we see any last second kind of heroic plays coming out from Deathwatch.
And here's a last second touch from Meowth getting taken out there as both the DPS from C.A.M die. Benji dying for personal reasons unbeknownst to the stream, and Karisu being taken out there, but switching over to the Sojo now, so making it worth it. Obviously, curious. There's Zernig with the... Oh wow, that is a big pick from Zernig now. Overmars has been such a thorn in the side. It does get res, but that means that the res is no longer in effect. And any deaths now are permanent for the next 30 seconds. We will see Overmars once again being a menace, and that could be the fight. Yeah, there's C.A.M backing off now. And yeah, this looks like they're giving them pause for thought. There comes the Bob, so aggressive from Overmars.
Yeah, very aggressive right now. Look, Bob is harassing anyone. It actually forces C.A.M to completely fall back towards the firehouse now as they wait for Bob to go away. And like you said, Overmars has been an absolute thorn in C.A.M's side, been an absolute deadeye. We saw when Karisu was on the tracer there, they basically did not allow them to play. Now only is C.A.M starting it back. We see Wokey get hacked here early, almost gets taken down there by Meowth and basically the entirety of the Deathwatch team. Karisu now has to Wraith form out of there, but still not necessarily at full health. 1-2 shots from Overmars takes care of them. They do find Meowth. The bomb, though, from Termi does find Sugar out there. So already 2 members of C.A.M down in this team fight. Again, this has been a very, very prolonged team fight at the moment. Benji does have that visor ready to go. However, Termi does not allow them to, as they use their rockets to take care of them. And now we see Zorn and Wokey on that high ground trying to do whatever they can. However, this is a losing fight, and they should try to get out. Zorn, though, does find UBL. So that is some sort of significant point. But Zorn immediately falls right after that. Karisu very close to falling here. They should be taken out, but they're still alive. Wokey does find Overmars and get the D-Mech on the Termi. And they find Termi after the D-Mech there. So somehow C.A.M wins that team fight in the longest way possible.
Yeah, C.A.M winning that team fight there, but not pushing the cart. Wokey, thank you. Just forgetting there. I was going to start questioning this Reaper pick from Karisu, and I mean, I think I might still, but we'll see how it keeps working out for them here. So that Diva is able to deny so much of that damage with the Matrix, shall I say. And speaking of things that need to be matrixed, here is Benji with that soldier element. And there's an EMP to start with.
5-man EMP completely cancels out the Kasuni rush from Zorn. This should be something that Deathwatch was looking for, but here comes the Vice. Actually, no, the Kasuni rush did come out still, but nothing comes from it. UBL with help from the entirety of Deathwatch takes care of Benji. Zorn does find Meowth. The beat comes out from Sugar to keep C.A.M alive in this fight. Bob in the background here, but I don't think anyone at C.A.M recognizes that they could be pushing the cart right now. Termi is there, however, last line of defense there for Deathwatch, but they're running away, but just a little bit too far away as C.A.M able to cap that second point. 1:40 for them now, plus overtime to push this cart to the final destination.
Yeah, C.A.M looking to push this cart through. I'm not sure they'll get it with above a minute. I think it actually might take more than 30 seconds just for like the default time of this cart to run through here. But obviously we'll see that. I'm thinking a double overtime cap here as Benji doing some Kovacs there to scout for Meowth. And yeah, that was a very, once again, very long fight, and ended up working in C.A.M's favor once again. It looks like Deathwatch don't quite know how to deal with the sustained pressure from them.
Yeah, honestly, these long fights have been just kind of weird coming out from C.A.M as Wokey falls here early, but we've seen Wokey and other members of C.A.M fall early in team fights, and it hasn't really affected them so far. No mech anymore for Termi. They're going to have to try to get that back. Wokey will be back here in a moment. Termi does get that mech back. 45 seconds now for C.A.M here to push it the remaining about 41 meters to its final resting place.
41 meters to go here as we will see Benji looking for the pulse bomb, gets the stick onto Overmars, does the res come through, denies the res as well. Benji.
Does find Iceberg there. Nano comes out onto someone here. I believe it comes out on the turn. They're trying to get rid of Benji there. They do just that. Now they're going after Wokey. Wokey, though, is able to take care of Meowth. And now we see Wokey pop that Primal Rage, just throwing hands at anyone they possibly can. Now they're going after the Mercy for Deathwatch, but not able to find anything there. Now it's only about 15 meters left. All Cam needs to do, 3 seconds on that clock. We will be going to overtime. Zorn might have to pop that Kasuna Rush just to keep them alive, and they do just that. The EMP comes out, though, from Meowth. Finds the 3 members of Cam right there. Now the bomb comes out from Termi, just trying to find anyone. It does not find anyone. Wokey finds Meowth, so they're out. This is fight for the moment. We see all the members of Cam just trying to get rid of that D.Va at the moment, but they're not able to. Wokey does find Overmars, though, so that's a nice pickoff from them. Iceberg does pop the Coalescence here. They're trying to get that res off, but they have to just bounce back out. Actually, they're going to try to go for it now. But we do see the Lucio coming. They're not able to cancel out, though. Benji does find Termi with the Pulse Bomb, and they find Iceberg right after Overmars with the high noon kill. Meowth picking up Zorn. Now it's just up to Caruso and Suga on point right now. Meowth trying to do whatever they can to make sure they don't do that, but they get punched to death. Now we see UBL come out trying to contest it, but they don't touch the cart, and we're going to an overtime.
Going to an overtime, and that was a really clutch fight there from Cam. They looked like they got their target priority. I don't know who was doing the shot calling, but they were on point for that last fight there. Fantastic work from both sides. They really Meowth switching over to the Reaper in the end there. Possibly could have clutched it out if it went for that meddling beat there from Suga. And yeah, that's the boop away as well from Suga there to deny UBL the touch. I don't think UBL would have lasted too long on the point there in the face of a Reaper with a Lucio to their back. But all in all, that last what, 30 seconds, 40 seconds was fantastic Overwatch all around. And I'm looking forward to this next fight here, next round.
Yeah, so Deathwatch will be attacking here first. Doesn't really look like they're going to make any changes to what they did there originally on their first attack. They're going to stay on that Zarya that they pretty much stuck on for the majority of their attack the last time. Cam, though, on the other hand, coming out with a couple interesting picks here. Benji on the Bastion is one that I'm mostly looking at right now.
Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. Obviously, it'll charge Zarya's shields if they are to shoot the shields. But look at the frontline pressure that Cam has. Cam wants to be in your face right now. And Meowth is going to look to probably take advantage of that. I think Meowth's going to sneak around here and go for not a back cap, but just to pressure the point to mean that Cam has to turn around. Because obviously, 1 minute, you don't really want to be giving away anything here. As we will see Cam running into Deathwatch, as I said.
Yeah, Meowth immediately goes after Benji. They're almost getting them down here. They're able to get them down just after Caruso is able to win the Reaper duel there onto Overmars. So 1 DPS down for each Siren now. Deathwatch wants to do this fast. They want to do it now. Down goes Karisu. Termi getting out there with the life, but Deathwatch actually trying to cap the point here a little bit before they get off. Now they're trying to take care of Wokey, but Wokey able to get healed back up here. Karisu getting off the Reaper now, going over to the Sombra instead. Termi does find Sugar, and now they're trying to get after the Kamiko of Zorn, but they're not able to. However, Deathwatch already close to 2 ticks on the point right now, and they should be able to cap this first point right here.
Are they just going to get the whole thing here? Yeah, Benji takes care of themselves, and Karisu falls quite soon afterwards to Iceberg. There's Wokey, and that means a fight win for Deathwatch, and also good positioning for them, as Cam are without their Winston and their Cassidy, which wasn't a Cassidy until now. Yeah, that Bastion pick unfortunately not working there in the face of Meowth's one-trick Sombra at this point. Not quite, but you know that. Meowth right now coming up to probably the first ultimate of the game. I know UBL is ahead, but I've seen the ratings which Sombra charges their EMPs. They'll probably come out together here. And here comes that dive from Cam to start the fight.
Yeah, they want to try to get Deathwatch off this point. However, that big mistake coming out from Wokey. Down he goes. And now Deathwatch is looking to find more. They find Benji there as well. Now they're going after the Lucio. Down goes Karisu. But the Lucio still staying alive before Suga able to finally fall there. Zorn looks like they just kind of stayed out of that team fight there. And now Deathwatch just continues to put more and more distance on this card.
Yeah, Zornig probably either used their Kariko abilities to get out of there, realizing the fight was lost just for a regroup here. And this is going to be Ult City, this fight. This is going to be pretty much everyone pressing Q. I mean, from Cam especially, there comes the Kitsuna Rush from Deathwatch to start it off with.
Yeah, but it's just a trade coming out here. One ultimate, actually two ultimates down for Deathwatch. Zorn does hold on to their ultimate right now, but they cannot use it as they get EMP'd right there. Down goes Loki. I don't think Zorn's going to try to use it here in this team fight, but here comes the grab from Termi. It catches two members in it. The beat has to come out from Sugar to keep them alive. Now Zorn pops. They're continuing to rush. Here comes the Death Blossom. 2, 3, four members of Deathwatch down, and that should do it for their overtime push. But man, they got a lot within that 1 minute they really had.
They got, I think, way more than they even bargained for there. C.A.M putting themselves in a very sticky situation here, giving up that first point. They went for the gamble on the Reaper Bastion, and unfortunately they did pay for it with a lot of progress here. This is not to say that the map is over though. I mean, Deathwatch did it on their attack, C.A.M can do it on theirs. I'm hoping they don't start off with this Pharah Tracer, or if they do, then they need to make sure that Deathwatch never really gets a regroup. If they start out with this, I think this is probably what they are going to be running with this. I think they've done betting us. You know, this is serious time now. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, we saw what Overmars was able to do to Tracers last time. C.A.M cannot have these prolonged team fights as they were having the entirety of their last offensive push here. They need to be having these quick team fights, try to get them down and out really fast. You can probably only really afford to lose one team fight here before everything just becomes final fight. Benji going over to the Symmetra right now and Karisu going over to the Bastion are interesting picks if they're gonna just try to TP behind them.
5.
Yeah, that could be a not happening kind of situation, or it could be a not happening.
Yeah, it's not.
I kind of assumed. You know, I was hopeful. I was looking forward to it. There's Meowth just being cheeky, you know, just scouting out, and Overmars doing pretty much the same thing, throwing a dynamite into the fight there. But yeah, C.A.M is going to want to get in your face here, and Termi is happy to take that ball, I think, with this Orisa here. These javelins are going to do serious damage to C.A.M.
Yeah, look, this Overmars already kind of getting chunked down right now. C.A.M doing exactly what they need to do here. Meowth out, Sugar out, Overmars now out. This is advantage C.A.M at the moment. They need to get rid of this Mercy, and only that's Ana left to heal. UBL trying to do their best here to stay alive. Now it's just up to the Orisa of Termi here, but they should be able to kill them and get this first point. This is perfect for C.A.M. However, Deathwatch might just throw a couple bodies at point here just to try to get some of their teammates respawn back in. The hack does come out here onto Benji. Meowth trying to get them, but they're not able to. Overmars, though, does. However, C.A.M should be able to cap point here as Deathwatch is looking just to give it to them.
Yeah, Deathwatch, Meowth thought about contesting there and then was like, nah, let's rather get this next fight. They only need to win one fight here. Do Deathwatch, and then the round is over here. Benji needs to come up absolutely massive with this pulse bomb. I'm talking both the Ashe and the Mercy minimum. No, I'm joking. But they really do need to get a good pickup here. There's the stick onto the Moira, I think, who just fades out of it.
CPL, that was not who they need to have it go on right now. Kariso, incredibly low, needs to get some health back. They're trying their hardest to, and they're able to. Loki finds Iceberg, Suga out of this fight, Meowth out of this fight as well. So advantage C.A.M here for the moment. They didn't touch, they C9!
The presence of the Orisa and the Reaper on point was just unfortunately too much for C.A.M to deal with. They had to back away from the point and unable to get back here. We will see Benji getting play of the game, getting the recognition that they do deserve. And yeah, I think this was that fight. They got 4 picks off the bat there, denied the first one by their Kriko. But what a round there from both teams. Once again, Deathwatch. You're upset, Dex. I understand. So am I. C.A.M had so much promise there. They unfortunately, Deathwatch once again just winning those critical fights, and it's not even like misplays or outplays on either side. It's just like it's so 50-50, and when you're walking that line like one step either side, and it's done, and it just happens to have fallen on Deathwatch's side both times.
Yeah, what I hate for C.A.M there was they were up in the numbers battle there as well. They had gotten 3 members of Deathwatch out of the fight already, and only one of their own teammates had fallen. So it was essentially a 4-on-2 right there. And they just chased those 2 members of Deathwatch off the point. and just completely forgot that they were in overtime there. And I hate it so much for C.A.M because I really do feel like they could have had that map. We could be looking at a tied series right now going into halftime. However, though, now we're looking at a series that's only one map away from ending.
Yeah, we're looking at that map right now. Is this? I'm not sure. I need to know if this is.
It's first to 3.
Is it first to 3, or is this not? Is this not finals where it's first to 4? I know sometimes in semis and finals they have it first to 4, but I could be incorrect.
Still first.
But yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we have this halftime break now, and yeah, things are looking very dire for C.A.M, but not because they're playing badly or that Deathwatch is thing, just because, as you said, they're one map, and they are unfortunately out of Tranquility Season 9. Yes. So all to play for when they get back here, and let's see if they can come back from this break refreshed and ready to go here. Needing a reverse sweep to win. Will it happen? We will have to see after the break. See you in 10. Welcome back, guys. We have some more Overwatch for you. Shocking. Yeah, between Deathwatch and C.A.M, we will be coming here into this third map between the teams. Potentially final, hopefully not final, but potentially final map. And Dex, we've been talking a lot about both these teams here. We said it before the break. Let's try it again. What do you think the key difference is between these two teams right now?
I don't think there's really much. I feel like C.A.M's ability to drag out these team fights is something that's worked to their favor. I just don't necessarily think it's a good thing to be doing. Deathwatch, on the other hand, it seems like they're really good with the comps they come out with every time, and it seems like almost every map has ended in a coin flip. A C9 on Midtown is the only reason that Deathwatch is currently sitting up on series point right now. C.A.M almost 9-9-0'd, or got 100% to 0 on the second point in Nepal before we saw Deathwatch come back down from 9-9 to 0 to take that point and take that map.
Yeah, and as you said, like not all coin flip fights, but like the ends of those rounds, of both rounds of control, the last point there of hybrid, all coming down just to that last fight, and just like, you know, maybe someone has better aim, or maybe there was a better target call, and it's so close. So let's hope that we can keep that up here, as we will be looking towards our next map, which is going to be Circuit Royale. a bit of a different style you'd expect coming from both these teams, considering both of these teams have been playing very brawl-centric comps. So it will be very interesting to see, one, switches, and two, what they decide to do with this information.
Yeah, and honestly, Circuit Royale, especially on this first point, you can normally see maybe a Widowmaker come out. And we have seen, I believe it was Overmars, been an absolute deadeye for Deathwatch Deathwatch before. So I would not be surprised if we see them come out with a Widowmaker on either offense or defense, just specifically for that first point. But like you said, it is a little bit different from a brawl kind of map that we've seen both these teams kind of play into right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what these teams come out with and how they play around on this map.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, there's we're looking at the beautiful scenery here. There's that lovely race car, and yeah, we'll be coming in to show this beautiful pool. There's the little rubber ducky that everyone loves so much, despite this being such a deadly spot to play on. And yeah, there's those switches I was talking about. Ronan in for Termi on the side of Deathwatch, and Mama taking out, testing my memory here, Woki on the side of C.A.M. There you go. I got there eventually. If this is to be believed, C.A.M is still going to run a brawl-centric comp. No longer with the Winston, but now with a Zarya. So deciding not to take the more traditional Sigma kind of comp on this map, maybe deciding that they don't want to test Overmars too much in the head-to-head there. But yeah, dual brawl comps coming out here, so this should be a very interesting map.
Yeah, so even with it being not necessarily a brawl map, both teams want to just come out and prove that their brawl doesn't necessarily matter what type of map it is on at the moment. Meowth, already invisible, trying to run around and find anyone to hack at the moment. Looking like to go after Zorn here to start. They do throw their translocator away from them. They do get Zorn on that hack, but they're able to use the card to their advantage. However, Overmars is able just to take off their head instead. Ronan now going after Benji on this soldier. Won't be able to slide out of that one as Ronan lands them after the jump. And look at this Deathwatch just continues to go in, picking up kill after kill after kill here. Sugar is able to take care of Meowth right there as Ronan just waves a hello and a goodbye here to Marmor before they eventually kill him. Actually, no. Marmor's able to actually run away with their life here.
Yeah, Ronan deciding to try and stagger Mama there, and ends up not really working in their favor. You know, I think Mama stood still, and Ronan was like, "Aha, yes, the stagger is now." And there goes Meowth back into the backline, taking out Benji at the start of this fight there. Overmars once again taking out Zornig, so that'll be a first point cap here for C.A.M, and does look like they're showing signs of slowing down. Mama probably does get taken out towards the end here. And that was a very clean and decisive fight for Deathwatch. C.A.M is going to need to rethink their strats here, and they are going to do that with Benji.
Yeah, Benji now on their third life, already on their third hero as well. Start off on the Soldier and went to the Widowmaker, immediately got killed. Now they're on the Hanzo. Karisu falls here early to the Ronin. The EMP does come out. It's fine. 3 members already one down. Sugar and Benji still have that EMP effect on them right now. But look at this Deathwatch. It doesn't necessarily matter. They're just pushing up into essentially C.A.M spawn here.
Up into C.A.M spawn. There's the primal rage pop from Ronin. This action just never stops him. Hasn't stopped him on this map here. We will see Overmars challenging Benji here, going for a headshot versus headshot battle there. A huge dynamite landed, and that's a massive amount of ult charge there. Overmars doesn't really have that much as they've been on cart the whole time here. But we will see Karisu looking for Meowth, trying to scout their opposite number as maybe I'll get to sleep and possibly an escape here from Mama. Yeah, that was a much better fight there from C.A.M. We will see Tsuga once again switching, so it's more scouting. They really are respecting the Sombra here, and this looks like a recontest, I think.
The Dragons comes out from Benji here, doesn't find anyone, but does kill some time with them. But the Nano comes out onto Ronin. They're absolutely looking for anyone. The purple comes out as well. Sugar falls down already, not looking good for C.A.M. Zorning out, Benji out, Meowth does fall as well. However, I feel like the damage has already been done here for C.A.M. And now Deathwatch caps the second point with a healthy time bank of over 5 minutes left to go now.
A healthy time bank, and Karisu was killed during the animation of the EMP. They do switch, so it was probably like, let me just press Q and see what I can get with it. So, you know, not too big of an issue. But Karisu has now switched over to this Reaper. They're deciding that the Monkey is actually doing far too much work in the backline without that close-up burst damage. As we will see Ronin jumping into the backline with their Sombra once again getting a kill at the start of the fight.
Ronin looks like he's off the map, takes himself out of this fight before someone else does. I can respect that mindset. However, it doesn't necessarily matter right now as Deathwatch is continuing to push this cart almost down to the home stretch here. The EMP, or we do see Zorn get hacked on that high ground there by Meowth. Meowth does take him out, and now there's already one support down for C.A.M.
One support down for C.A.M, and this is just relentless action here. Meowth. But before we had Overmars being a pest, now it's Meowth, but it looks C.A.M is actually just disjointed. They're a little bit frazzled, I think, by the intensity of this fight here, as we'll see Ronan looking to juggle Tsuga off the map. That is to say this up with a bash. Still good, yes, nice from Tsuga. They waste the entirety of that travel though. But as I said, look where the card is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The EMP comes out from Meowth. It finds 3. Zorn does find Overmars though, but Ronan comes right back, finds Sugar. The dragon from Benji is huge. It finds 2, and they find a 3rd one after that. Kurisu coming back out on that Bastion, able to finally get something going here for C.A.M, but still over 3.5 minutes left now for them to defend.
That is the first fight win I think that C.A.M has had. Yes, they did like stop Deathwatch earlier, but they only really killed one person. Looked more like Deathwatch backed up than anything else. And yes, that's the first fight win there, and that's actually massive because Deathwatch used 3 ultimates there in that fight. And looking like they don't really have much else. You have to rally from Tsuga, as you'll see Kurisu taking a duel with Meowth there. Meowth accuracy on the Sombra is actually something to be incredibly proud of being taken out there, as I say that. So maybe not too over there. We'll see a bit of poke on both teams. Are Deathwatch going to fight this, or are they going to back up?
I mean, it looks like they want to fight this one right now. Overmars is trying to find any head they possibly can. Ronan is able to take care of that bash. So that might be the go button. Benji though comes right back and finds Iceberg, so no mercy left for Deathwatch at the moment. Ronan trying to do whatever they can, but all they're doing now is jumping out of the fight to keep themselves alive here at the moment. The rally being popped here by Suga to support their team in this team fight, and it has essentially held off Deathwatch here for a couple of moments as they wait for some of their fallen members to rejoin.
I wonder if that's what Deathwatch was going for, actually, like to try and draw out that rally, because it almost like they were like trying, and as soon as Tsuga pressed Q, they were all out. So if that was the plan, that was definitely not the plan. Mama, you were a little bit out of position in that phase. And that's the go button now for Ronan, straight into the backline. Will they get the primal of yesterday?
And we see Iceberg here pop the Valkyrie. EMP does come out from Meowth. I don't think it finds anyone there, but I don't think it necessarily matters. Zorn does find Meowth, and now they're just kind of, they nanoed Sugar there on the brig. I love to see it, but that might have just been a nano of necessity there. Marmar is back, trying to do whatever they can. Here comes the rest of the side of C.A.M. Sugar also no support, but the dragons do come out from Benji. Not finding anyone other than just able to push some people away from the car. However, that shouldn't necessarily matter. Bob coming out. Zorn just walking straight into it. Suga trying to come back, but does not have a lot of health. Eventually get taken out there from a swift punch from Meowth. And Deathwatch completes Circuit Royale with 1:41 in the time bank.
This is the first map, I'd say, where Deathwatch just looked absolutely dominant over C.A.M. And it just looks like it's coming down right now just to a bit of like a planning diff. The dives from Deathwatch between Meowth and Ronan are so coordinated. Someone gets hacked and they're immediately in a Winston bubble. No help, no support, and that damage buff that Sombra gets still at 40%, by the way, as of this patch, being changed next week. But as of right now, Meowth is just like tearing through C.A.M.
Yeah, and C.A.M has to try to respond now on their own offensive push here. They don't need to cap with time, in my opinion. They just need to cap all that they can here, just to force in overtime. And that's their goal at the moment here. Kurisu coming out on the Widowmaker. Like I said, we could potentially see a Widowmaker come out here just for this first little push here for them, because of that very long sight line.
Yeah, that really long sightline, and yeah, it's looking like they're gonna go with this poke comp. Benji once again going onto that beloved Farah of theirs, and yeah, let's see if they can get a bit more value out of it. Obviously, Meowth is gonna be like scouting the comp as it comes through, out. So element of surprise isn't really there. So we'll see what Benji tries to do with that with this fire, decide to go over the roof or something like that. But a very aggro comp here from Deathwatch. Well, actually I say that, but they've got almost like poke DPS and they brawl tank, so a little bit of an interesting hybrid there, as yeah, Benji hacked up immediately by taken out by Meowth. Where was the mercy?
Yeah, where was the mercy? Like, you're gonna come out and do that kind of comp strategy, but yet you don't ride out with it. It's an interesting play, and not even seeing the res come back out either to try to get Benji back in this fight early. Karisu trying to find a head here onto Overmars. Not able to just yet, but Benji comes right out of spawn and gets hacked again. This time, though, I think Suga was able to get back to them.
I want to know why Tsuga isn't with them though. Like, I don't. Was there words exchanged in the locker room? Tsuga now not a fan of Benji, but because they're still not pocketing their Pharah, they're pocketing their Widowmaker, and I think that's just not the right goal. Your Pharah needs can do so much work if you give them the resources there, and if they have to play scared the whole time, they're just not going to get that done. Overmars and Meowth just taking care of the DPS from Deathwatch, but as of right now, I think this is just a bit of a bit of confusion coming through from CA.M. Beautiful headshots there from Overmars on both supports. Should we give it to the RNG Hanzo, or do we give this to Overmars just being an absolute crack?
I'm gonna give it to Overmars being absolutely on one right now. Meowth takes care of Benji, who swapped over to the Soldier. Again, Meowth just not allowing Benji to play the game at the moment. We do see Suga staying on that Mercy here for the moment. They do res Benji to get them back into this fight fast. Marmor gets hacked there, gets out of their mech immediately as they turn that corner, and now Ronan going after the Mercy decides to fall out of that one, not go after them anymore, and just trying to lay down some damage onto the DPS for CA.M. Karisu does find one with their blade. Here comes the Terror Surge, able to find Karisu, and they find Marmor right after that with the Javelin.
Yeah, Ronan and Overmars, and I think just the entire of Deathwatch are, they're keen to finish this up now. They're not giving CA.M any time to, get back into this. They want this game to be done here and now. Holding on this first corner so far. Great discipline by Ronan there in that previous fight there as we look to see the EMP coming through here from Meowth. There's a hack coming through onto the Mercy. No, the EMP not coming out just yet, but they'll be coming out very soon and probably can't come sooner as Karisu is building up to that blade there. Ronan in a bit of a spot of bother here. Do they get punished for it? Not quite.
The Nano coming out onto Marmor here, trying to do whatever they can. They are able to take care of Omars, and we do see Ronan get slept, but immediately woken up by that disruptor shot. Probably not how they wanted to go, but Benji able to make up for it there by throwing a railgun shot through the head of that robot there. And now they're going for more. Here comes the blade from Karisu. 1, 2, down. They know Meowth somewhere around there, but Meowth just decides to jump off the map. And now I feel like CA.M should have more members on this card right now, but it seems like they instead want to go after Deathwatch as they come out. And look at this. Karisu finds Overmars as they walk out of spawn.
Yeah, Karisu going mega aggro there. I'm interested in that reset from Meowth. They still hasn't used the EMP, by the way, so this recontest is looking exceptionally good here for Deathwatch. There's forcing it out though, and do they manage to direct the EMP?
They pop the EMP there, does find 3, and now look at this, a Cassini Rush coming out from Deathwatch. They're back in this one now, not allowing CA.M to cap this first point. Everything coming out for them. Benji, Karisu out of this fight. The remaining members of CA.M going back around the bend there to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, as they only really have one fight left with 30 seconds. They've got the Diva Bomb, which kind of needs to come up absolutely massive here for Mama. They do have the overclock from Benji as well to support it. And nothing really from Deathwatch to respond there unless Mama feeds them the ult charge here. As we'll see Meowth once again in the backline being a nuisance. And I think there comes the bomb from Mama. Yeah, really well placed. But I'm not going to catch anything, unfortunately, but does force out Ronan.
Yeah, but Benji popped their overclock here, finds 1, finds 2, finds 3, using all their abilities. Karisu able to find Overmars there. Meowth does find Marmor though. However, it doesn't matter as CA.M did what they needed to do there and capped the first point.
CA.M capping that first point there is massive for them. Meowth is that's a little unfortunate translocate there right to the face of a Diva. You're not really gonna get out of that one, unfortunately. Yeah, that was definitely a good fight there from CA.M. Benji and Mama forcing Ronan to push into that room there, just getting killed there, and that meant no support for the backline, no pressure onto that Sojourn from Ronan. Able to collect 3 kills there. This Terror Surge is going to look to come quite aggressively to see Ronan just walking into them.
Oh, what a play coming out from them right there. The Dragons come out, and the Terror Surge comes out as well. Tries to pull some members of CA.M into those Dragons, but doesn't find anyone right now. Instead, look at this. CA.M is finding everyone right now. 2 down. They're able to res Karisu. Meowth down as well. Benji finds UBL and Iceberg there. Now CA.M, all they need to do is get as many members on that card to get it going as fast as it possibly can.
Yeah, Benji really online on the Sojourn. Makes you wonder why they started out on that Pharah, especially if Mercy wasn't going to pocket them. But, you know, that's the past. We need to focus on the future here. Speaking of the future, there comes a teleport. I was not expecting that.
A 5-man EMP and Deathwatch looks to stay in this one. Carissa pops the blade here, finds one. Benji finds one with the railgun. Zorn finds another, and look at this. Even with the 5-man EMP, C.A.M still able to beat Deathwatch here and cap this second point. 2.5 minutes in the time bank now, not like the over 5 minutes that Deathwatch had. However, C.A.M is keeping themselves alive.
C.A.M keeping themselves alive there, and I'm going to highlight that play there from Zornig. I'm not sure if you saw there. Managed to sleep the Sombra and hit a 4-man biotic grenade onto the front line of Deathwatch there, meaning that no one is healed, everyone is critical, and that just meant that Karisu had such an easy time slashing through them. Benji back here with another Sojourn ultimate, and yeah, Meowth overstepping there for once. Mama really taking care of them, and we'll see Overwatch sticking on this Symmetra. It's not working.
Now, honestly, I feel like it was only just for that TP back there to try to win that team fight, and when it went south, they should have swapped off right now, but they're sitting on 62% ult chart, so I imagine they want to try to get an ultimate with this Symmetra here. However, C.A.M is just using it to their advantage right now. They're pushing this cart now without any stop. Benji trying to take care of Iceberg there. Zorn able to find Meowth. Meowth has not had a lot of success on this Sombra here lately. Carissa now harassing Ronan there, but Overmars finally able to find something there as they take care of Benji. Jugo able to rest him here. Here comes the Kasuni rush coming out from, I believe it was Iceberg there, but the hack coming back out on the Benji, who's actually in the backline, who did pop their overclock right now, and trying to find anyone. They do find one. Trades coming out here. The disruption shot coming out on point does damage Iceberg a lot before Benji able to take care of them. Karisu falls, and they actually, Karisu and Overmars actually just completely trade each other out. Zorn finds Ronan right now, and C.A.M actually getting really, really close here. Meowth on that high ground here is going to try to contest this card here. Here comes the wall now from Overmars.
I think that's really good discipline there from C.A.M. Batting out and killing. Oh, I didn't even see that they recouped there. Yeah, come to me, bro. Kill. Yes, good work, Benji. That was a fantastic kill. They spotted the play from Overmars. Knew exactly what they were going to do. Yeah, come on, play.
Terror Surge comes out from Ronan trying to find anyone, but Benji doing work. Ronan doing work as well. Benji continues to find members of Deathwatch out. Carrizo back in this team fight. Meowth last line left for Deathwatch. Now it's Overmars who's back on the Symmetra, trying to throw whatever turrets they can on point to get rid of the members there, but not able to do enough. And C.A.M has keeping their season alive at the moment by completing Circuit Royale as well.
That was an insane turnaround there from C.A.M, just getting absolutely almost spawn camped there at the start of the round, just to winning every fight thereafter. Benji just came alive. That was just Benji's round after they switched off that Pharah there. I really hope they keep to the Sojourn because, oh my goodness, right now they are on one, as you said there. Benji versus Overmars right now is a heck of a battle. I really do think Overmars should have switched off that Symmetra a lot earlier though, Dex.
Yeah, but actually, I want to give a lot of credit to C.A.M here for completely shutting out Meowth on that last point. That Sombra on the last point was basically non-existent because wherever Meowth was, it seemed like they were always getting caught out and found out, and it just never really worked out for them. I don't think they really got an EMP on that last push there, and if they did, it didn't necessarily do anything for Deathwatch.
Yeah, they managed to get one EMP there, but they were the only person on the point at the time. It was just after Benji had almost with the help of Suga. I think actually let's highlight Suga there this last round there. I don't think Suga died after the initial spawn camp. You know, when everyone was not playing, you know, when they weren't playing the game as the same as they were now. Suga didn't die on that Mercy. So, I mean, the amount of like work that does for as a support is immense. Right, you're constantly healing your team, constantly providing damage boost, and yeah, here's Meowth being annoying once again. Really scared now though, paying a lot more respect to C.A.M than they were previously.
I don't know if it's honestly paying more respect or just trying to get C.A.M away from their focus of the card right now as Overmars on that Torb, able to find Benji out early and get the DMEC then onto Marmor as Ronan takes care of them. So that's already one team fight out for C.A.M. They have to come back in just playing on last team fight here from now on.
Yeah, and as you said, maybe that is the strat. Meowth playing it to absolute perfection in that case. Yeah, 30 seconds left. This is one fight territory for C.A.M. We've seen people do amazing things with one fight, and especially when you take out the Genji with that one fight. That's an insane thing going on.
Now able to get the hack there and take care of Carrizo there in the backline. Now we're down into single-digit seconds here as we will tip over into overtime. C.A.M cannot make the same mistake they made on midpoint now. Benji is able to get rid of the turret from Overmars, but they just have to find a kill here to give them some advantage. They're trying to find Ronin here, but Ronin's doing a good job of just finding anyone. But Ronin gets taken down there. That's the kill they needed. However, Zorning fall is not within it. Carrizo comes right back on the Widowmaker and finds Overmars. C.A.M cannot get off this cart now. They're continuing to get kill after kill here. They just have to remember to stay on the cart this time, as I've said too many times already.
Yeah, they have to remember to stay on the cart there, and this looks like a death for Meowth as please punish the Sombra. Mama, go chase them. Yeah, Meowth managing to get out there is kind of massive, as they really should have died there. Coming back with this EMP, you know, everyone's going to be stacked on cart there. They did scout them, managed to get them. No, there's the EMP, massive from Meowth.
Great man EMP, but it's already one trade off, and Carrizo finds Overmars. Benji is out. Carrizo does have their ultimate ready. However, it is just more of a support ultimate coming out for them. Meowth still somehow staying alive, just barely. The nano comes out onto Ronin. The bomb comes out for Marmu. And look at that, they're so close to the first point. They want it. Zornji takes care of Meowth, so no more hacks to come out. However, we are seeing the hands come out from Ronin, and that's just enough to get C.A.M off the point here just before they cap the first one.
Just before they capped the first one, I don't know if it was a sleep or a hack, but Mama's remake after that bomb was cancelled. And that was absolutely massive from Deathwatch. That meant no Diva, you have no tank, you have 3 DPS, well 2.5 DPS, let's be generous. Let's be conservative, shall I say. But yeah, as I said there, I think that is a really good push from C.A.M. You know, it would have been nice for them to cap, but you know, you don't get any extra time in overtime, sorry, in like the second round. Of pushing, so them managing to get as far as they did, I think this is holdable for C.A.M, especially if they can keep up this relentless pressure they've got here. We will see Benji on the Soldier, no longer on the Sojourn. So an interesting switch up here. I wonder what the rationale for that is.
Maybe a little bit more. My feeling is probably mostly just for the health thing that Soldier has, just to try to keep themselves alive here so that the supports can focus on Carrizo and Marmor a little bit here. But almost 2.5 minutes for Deathwatch here. C.A.M is going to have to do really, really good on this first little on the first little part of the first push here. They can really not let them get to the little bridge that goes over the road here, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I fully agree with you there. I think that C.A.M should actually be playing the Torb that Deathwatch is playing here, just to make Meowth's job just even harder than it has been. The Torb attack is always an interesting one, can work, but yeah, obviously you have to work to make it work. Very conservative positioning here from C.A.M though. I'm quite interested in this, as they like kind of put themselves in one fight territory here, as Deathwatch can push the cart all the way to the bridge uncontested, as Carrizo takes out Meowth.
Yeah, and look, they're trying to get rid of Ronin. Ronin is able to escape with their life somehow. 4 members of C.A.M up there not able to take care of Winston. That was probably 125 HP there, but now they're doing a good job just kind of holding them just around this bend right now.
Yeah, it's holding around this bend. This is where I was thinking they should position the first time, as they push Ronin into the backline. Well played by Mama there, absolutely murdering the Winston. They push them out of their bubble, out of their line of supports, and yeah, that's a death. That should be a fight reset. As we'll see the turret getting quite a bit of ultra here for Overmars.
Yeah, Overmars already close to 60%. Same for Iceberg and UBL here at the moment. Benji though, look at that, 80% on that visor. Really, C.A.M cannot lose a member in this team fight. And as I say that, Benji falls, and now that's the go button for Deathwatch here. If C.A.M is going to lose a team fight here, they have to make it this one so that they can all potentially get back into this one. But Marmar gonna try to just rain in some damage from above there, and they have got Deathwatch here to under a minute, but now C.A.M has given up that high ground.
C.A.M has given up that high ground, and this is the danger of that old spot. Overmars takes out Zornig though. That's a terrible start to this fight there for C.A.M. They're on such a back foot now.
Yeah, Marmar getting a demech. You're gonna have to use the bomb to get back into it. They won't find anyone with it, but just gonna try to get back in the mech. They should be able to do that, but they're almost immediately gonna get re-demeched here. The visor now coming out from Benji. It has to be huge, but here comes the Monin Core from Overmars. Each of the ultimates finding one here. Carrizo's Dragons finds one. The The turret finds Benji, and now Overmars going in with the rivet gun. Finds one. They're so close to it. Karisu needs to get back. Zorning out. Karisu is somewhere around point, but they get taken out by Overmars there, and that will do it. Deathwatch takes care of C.A.M here.
Deathwatch takes care of C.A.M there, and Overmars popping, playing on the Torb there, unable to be dealt with, unfortunately. Just a fantastic play there, I think, from Deathwatch there. There's this fantastic plays that we run in, these coordinated dives, EMPs, all that, just really coming in here. Meant that Deathwatch had such a big time bank and probably a mental kind of, a mental strength going into that defense there, which showed for a long time on for C.A.M. But C.A.M manages to, they reset their mental, they go through, they complete the map, and honestly, once again, that last fight could have gone either way. I do think Deathwatch did come into it quite strong there, starting with 2 picks. But those trading 1 for 1, one death this side from an ultimate, one death this side from ultimate, that was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, it really was. And again, I feel like C.A.M was so close there. It seems so many times here to winning a map or just being able to hold Deathwatch. But Deathwatch was always just able to find something to get past that there this entire series. And that's really the reason why they ended up winning it here. You talked about after their first offensive push there on Circle Royale, that looked to be the most dominant we had seen them. And it almost looked like they were going to continue that on their defense as well. But then C.A.M started to build a little momentum, and they kind of just started to snowball that momentum to a complete map finish there. However, only leaving themselves with a minute there in overtime was probably C.A.M's biggest downfall.
I mean, yeah, I think you say leaving themselves with a minute. I think they did fantastic work to get there at all. I mean, I know you did give them credit there, so not pushing that one. But I think that was where that was the strength there of Deathwatch finishing their attack so strongly, and then holding kind of that first win, as we've said countless times at this point. Yeah, that was definitely that last map there. I still think a lot more dominant from Deathwatch than we have seen. Comparison. This is all comparison. This is all relative. And I think for C.A.M, I would be incredibly proud of the way that they played today. Overwatch 2 really seeming like the game, or maybe they just warmed into each other as teammates starting out the season. Maybe not together, but. Such good growth there. Unfortunately, they are out. Deathwatch will proceed to the semi-finals and the winners bracket to face up against Mythical Kitsuno next week. Any comments you've got on the match or matches coming?
No, I mean, you basically hit the nail on the head here. C.A.M should not feel bad about this. They played an excellent series, and just a couple minor mistakes are the only reasons that they're currently out of the playoffs right now. Deathwatch, on the other hand, probably not a team that I expect to be in this lower bracket, but now they're going back up to the upper bracket here. So congratulations to them. But C.A.M, I mean, they should feel very proud about how the way they played here, because they, in my opinion, should have taken at least one map here over this series, and it was a very competitive series. Don't let the scoreline here of 3-0 make it look like it was a cakewalk for Deathwatch, because at several points I believe C.A.M was probably the better team.
100%. Yeah, this scoreline really does not reflect the match that we see here today. It would have been so nice to continue going through this, to take this to map 4, map 5. Unfortunately that's not what we got, but I mean what we did get is some quality Overwatch. And I think this is what we've come to expect from the Discord tier teams. Both NA and EU. I'm EU, so I'm obviously going to say EU. It's been a fantastic showing this entire season. And there's still more to come, so make sure to tune into that when it comes through. Next week, as I said, those semi-finals, and the week after that, the grand finals of Discord Tier EU. There are going to be more matches later today if you are in NA, tomorrow morning if you are in EU time zone, and I think we said I think this is, as we said, fantastic game, and really good way to send up the season for C.A.M there. So thanks for joining in, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.